Hey, it's me, Raika. Today we're going to have a look at the Cursed Realm event and what it's all about. So, similar to the Twisted Realm, you will have to fight multiple enemies. As you can see here, there are 5 teams. In addition, you will have to fight the final enemy, which is similar to the Twisted Realm bosses. Now, these rounds last for 7 days. So after 7 days, you'll get one of these rewards depending on the rank that you achieve. Now, in addition to this, all of these teams are buffed by this specific effect. Each round will have a different effect, and you will have to adjust your teams according to the buffs and to the enemies that you're facing. So, in this case, for the Grotesque Mage, the buff that all the enemies get is Caged Bird. During battles, allied heroes are unable to trigger their ultimate abilities each time their energy reaches full. The full amount of energy will be deducted from them and their normal attack damage is increased by 100%. This effect can stack 8 times. Now, because of this, you have to now build teams in respect to the specific buff. So if, for example, a hero's main damage comes from their ultimate, then they most likely won't deal a significant amount of damage in this event. So you want heroes who can deal a lot of damage using their normal attacks and their abilities, where they will easily be able to deal a significant amount of damage and you'll be able to rank up in the leaderboard. Now, how does the leaderboard work? You have to fight these 5 shadow guards, where the combined total of all of these 5 shadow guards plus the damage you deal to the boss is combined. And depending on this damage, you'll be ranked in the leaderboard. Now, depending on where you rank, these are the possible rewards that you can get. So you'll start off at the beginning with getting a bit of Twisted Essence. Now, as you rank up higher and higher, you will get probably Elemental Shards. The next rank reward will be Elemental Cores. And the reward after that will be Stargazing Scrolls. And if you manage to get even higher, so as you can see, the rewards increase from tier to tier as you get more damage on the bosses. And for example, if you rank in the top 10%, you'll get even Time Emblem tickets. Now, these are the rewards that you can get as you go higher and higher. Now, how do we get these rewards? So you'll have to build specific teams depending on the enemies that you fight. So these enemies will retain all of the abilities that they have normally in campaign or one of your heroes in your portrait page. They will have signature item, furniture, and engravings on all of the teams. Additionally, if you build specific teams that counter these enemies, so let's have a look at the first team. We are fighting a Lightbearer hero, so a good idea would be to bring a couple of Graveborn who can deal a significant amount of damage, or a hero who scales extremely well the longer the fight goes. So one of these heroes will be Zorath, being as the longer the fight is, the more attack power and stats that he can gain, allowing him to deal a significant amount of damage. So let's have a look at this first fight. So as we can see here, none of our heroes are able to use their ultimate ability. So therefore you'll need a significant amount of sustain in the form of healing, shields, and so forth. And you'll need heroes who either A, will be able to control the enemy, such as removing their energy or dealing a significant amount of damage in a short period of time. And each team will require a significant amount of investment. So in this case, a high invested Zorath will allow me to deal even more damage than I currently am able to. The next thing that is crucial is your heroes do not have any relics when fighting these enemies. So what do I mean by this? So when we click challenge, you will have to set up 5 heroes for each boss. So as we can see here, now if we click on relics, for example, Pharrell, as you can see here, there is no relic equipped. So all relics are disabled for this specific event. Now, as you can see here, once you have set up all the necessary teams, then you just essentially click challenge. So you just click begin battle. And once you begin battle, you either can watch and see how the battle, the outcome of the battle, or you can simply click finish all the 6 battles in one click. So let's do that. All right, so there's your highest damage, and let's see how much damage I did. So in this case, I did 7.9 billion damage. However, my highest damage mark was nearly 1 billion damage. And as you can see, each team has their different scores and how they participated in this event. So as you can see, a couple of my teams did a significant amount of damage. In this case, my first team. And my second and third, however, struggled to deal the damage that they could potentially do. So another thing that you can do is easily swap out heroes that are better suited for that specific enemy. So you could, for example, click on your worst performing team, and let's say you could maybe adjust a couple of the heroes, click next battle, and see how this battle outcome performs. Now let's have a look at the rules. The event lasts for 7 days. All heroes are capped to level 360. Their gear and their tiers will remain unaffected. So it's a good idea to move around gear for this specific event, especially for your main damage dealers, as they will easily be able to get a significant amount of more damage for that specific boss. Players may only use mercenaries, dimensional heroes, and heroes which are within the resonating crystal. So if, for example, you have an ascended hero, however, they are level 1 and not in your resonating crystal, they will not be able to be used. So in my case, this would be an Isold, as my Isold is not in my resonating crystal, so I can use a mercenary from my friend or one of my guildmates to fill in the gaps where I need. However, you can only use one mercenary through the entire 6 battles, so it is best to hire a mercenary that deals damage and can essentially get you to another rank in this specific event. Bosses and their shadow guards will stack attributes and grow stronger every time a certain amount of their health is lost. So every single next battle that you do, these enemies will be more stronger and be more difficult to defeat. Within each new Cursed Realm session, being 7 days, players are able to challenge the boss 10 times for free, after which an expenditure of diamonds is required, where they need to pay a certain amount to get an additional 10 attempts, where a maximum amount of attempts is 199 times within the 7-day period. The final damage of each challenge is the total sum of the damage dealt to the bosses and all 5 Shadow Guard teams. Once the highest recorded damage dealt through all the bosses will count towards your final ranking. Your final ranking will be determined at the end of the 7 days for that specific session. Results for the Cursed Realm are calculated over 24 hours, during which players cannot partake in battles. So these are the final day, where once the event has concluded, this is when the rewards will be sent to the players once their specific rankings have been calculated correctly. Rewards for every Cursed Realm shall be sent out to the players' inboxes at the end of each event. So this specific boss and the minions that we can see here are specific to these 7 days, or the Grotesque Mage. As you can see, the next 7 days, instead of fighting 1 enemy from the Shadow Gods, we now are fighting 5, and there are different enemies each time you fight these specific heroes. And at the end, similar to the Twisted Realm, you'll be fighting the Twisted Arden boss. In addition, there will be a new effect that will apply to every single team and will affect your allies in a positive or negative aspect. Now, this changes every single 7 days, so it's best to look up a guide, which I'll pin in the description, as to what are the best teams, and if you're missing a hero also, what are the best substitutes that you can use in order to maximize your damage and get the highest reward you can. Thanks for watching. Like, comment, and subscribe.